All right, this is going to be a quick one. I'm going to do off the cuff here. I love James O'Keefe and what he's been doing with Project Veritas. I love the corruption that he's exposed. I think it's spot on. And if you haven't seen my video yet on Trump, should be worried. I go into a little bit of detail on the difference between the super PACs and 527 groups, and then in my Shocktober video, I go into a little bit more of a summary of what they're doing as far as the DNC and the groups that are doing these coordinations, the money that's given away, the Donald Ducks, all this stuff is clearly it's clearly a violation. But this latest video about the Democratic donors who are really upset about what's been going on. And I'm going to play a little bit of it here and let you listen.
You know the Sonder Commando?
Yes.
Jewish guards who in effect helped murder Jews in the camp so they could live alone. So there were even Jews who were helping the Nazis murder Jews.
So the big headline here is he's comparing black Republicans to the Jews who helped the Nazis murder other Jews. Okay, this is extreme. But the smoking gun here isn't racism. It's not racism. I'm going to go through a little bit more of this, but I mean it's not the same thing. It's just not.
They're equally fucked in the community. They're really helping the enemy who want to destroy them. Maybe thinking that if I help them it'll be different, and maybe I'll get off okay, or somehow I'll save my race by working for the murderers.
Blacks who are helping the other side are seriously fucked in the head. So here's a Democrat who's a donor, and he believes that blacks are voting against their own self-interest.
So it's like they're voting against their self-interest.
Yes, absolutely.
Even if you had like a black Republican or somebody, like voting,
It doesn't make sense. You're voting against your own interests.
like, I mean, I'm sure
In the name of change, what is the change?
I'm sure someone like Ben Carson is a nice guy. I'm sure he is. He may be nutty fundamentalist, but maybe a nice guy. But it's like you're voting with a party that wants to oppress you.
Yeah.
I can't wrap
They don't believe in climate change. They don't believe, in social justice and human rights.
Well, how many of you on our side believe blacks are voting against their own self-interest? The only difference is, one, we're not calling the Democrats killers, although there's a case to be made with the abortion history, but I'm not going to go into that. But certainly the LBJ welfare state and on with what they've done with gun control laws in the inner cities, with the replacement of the father in the black family, they've certainly got a track record. And they've demonized Republicans. And this is demonization of Republicans. Now, Benjamin Barber, the thing is, I don't know if he believes this or not. But I think he does. I think he believes that Republicans want to murder blacks or want to hurt blacks or are not good for blacks. And he doesn't understand how blacks can vote for Republicans. His comparisons are off the chart ridiculous. And the smoking gun here is really the cartoonish way that he views Republicans. And the only racist thing I can see here is that he thinks that blacks should be just voting in a monolithic block. And that's nothing new. When I see these congressmen on this tape, and let me show you. These are Republican or GOP elected officials. I don't know what they're all from. Some of them may be in the House, or wherever they are. They show them the tape, and they act oh so shocked.
Wow. So that's what they think of us.
So as an African American voter,
do you feel like that you would be a traitor to your own race
Absolutely
if you were to
not.
vote for a
Absolutely.
conservative Republican candidate?
Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, I think I'm benefiting my race by voting against the Democrat Party.
That Deborah Ross have shown her true colors.
I consider it an insult.
Like, really? You're so shocked. You've never been called an Uncle Tom. You've never had these people going after you, right? So Project Veritas is showing this, James O'Keefe is showing this like an example of racism. And I just don't see it that way. And I think that's dangerous, that we're trying to use their tactics on them. We're saying, blacks, this is what they think of you. You need to be voting for us. We don't. Yeah, I want people. First of all, everybody's just people. There's no race. There's no. I mean, it's like dividing people up by hair color. It's stupid. And secondly, I really hate using these kinds of tactics. These are people who literally believe that Republicans want to destroy blacks. And they want to help them, and that's why they give to the Democrat Party. They're cynical, and they're, really crass in their presentation, and their metaphor is stupid, but this is what they believe. Let me ask you, don't you believe the same thing? Is that racism? If you think that Democrats that blacks that vote for Democrats are just crazy because they're voting against their self-interest, they're only helping the enemy who wants to destroy them, who has been destroying them. The only thing we got on our side is a lot more empirical evidence, because these inner cities and these elected officials, these councilmen, these mayors have been Democrat strongholds for 40, 50 years. 40, 50 years. Detroit is a bombed out hellhole. Chicago is a war zone. New York, we came back with Giuliani, had a lot less crime, saved a lot of black lives. Now with the new guy, the Democrat, I'm blanking on his name at the moment, it's fallen apart again. They certainly haven't, a Democrat's been in the White House. A black Democrat has been in the White House for 8 years, and race relations are worse than they've ever been. So we have a lot more empirical history on this. They disagree. They think that we're the problem. But those two thoughts are not racism. And this guy believing that Republicans are bad and that blacks are going to get hurt by voting for Republicans is not some horrible, guy running a plantation on a cotton field. James, I think you're better than this. And I think this is cheap shot. You did so well with the other 4 videos, with the rigging the election and showing specific actions that were clearly violations of election law. This is trying to get into somebody else's thoughts and changing presenting how they, making them look like racists. I don't want to play that fucking game. I don't want to play the Democrats and the regressives fucking collectivist games of saying, well, blacks, they're just all crazy. They all need to vote for us. They're not. They're humans. They all need to vote for their own self-interest, and they're making their own decisions. And if they're getting misinformed, then we need to inform them. This guy is as misinformed as any of them. They believe the voter ID laws are Jim Crow laws. Neither of them, the congresswoman or this Benjamin Barber, he didn't know the history of it, I bet. Not really. Or he's been spoon-fed all this crap about Jim Crow being a Republican thing, when all you have to do is go through history and see Republicans are the ones that ended slavery. It was a 60-40 split, Republicans versus Democrats in the civil rights votes, and that Democrats were the ones in the 60s that were filibustering that and trying to stop it. Democrats were the ones that put in Jim Crow laws. Southern Democrats. It's never been Republicans. Republicans have never been that way. Now, I'm not saying Republicans are clean and pure as the wind-driven snow. And certainly right now, fuck all of them with the way they've been acting. They've turned establishment just like every other one. They're like Democrat light. But this is the kind of game. This is the kind of, put one side against the other side. These are people who believe these things. I believe they're dead fucking wrong. But this is not a smoking gun of racism. Or at the very least, maybe the soft bigotry of you know, I don't even know if it's a soft bigotry of low expectations. It's more about, you know, we're the ones, we're the white knights that can help the blacks, and the Republicans are all evil. It's just a cartoonish view of the world. But I don't see this as a big smoking gun against racism. And this, you know, people should be able to donate and believe what they want to believe, even if they're fucking ridiculous, but not be pushed out like this and shown to be like these huge racist bastards. They're not. They just, that's not any more than what you see in the mainstream press. I mean, if I had seen on this tape, hey, those fucking niggers, we are going to use them and use their votes. We'll keep lying to them while we just rake in the power. Fuck them. They're, you know, we'll just tell them what they want to hear. If you'd heard that kind of thing, that would have been a smoking gun. But what I'm hearing here is like, hey, those Republicans want to destroy blacks. I don't understand how blacks can be a part of them. Well, fuck, I think the same thing, but in the other direction. And the only thing I've got working on my side is a whole lot of history of Democrats fucking over blacks. And I can point to that. And you can decide which one you want to believe. So anyway, I know this was a unfocused rant, but I saw this and I just feel like we should be better than this. We should, this is the kind of stuff where people are going to be afraid to say what they feel. Even if it's crap, even if it's wrong, you're going to get hit by an undercover camera. There's nothing, I don't see anything dishonest in this tape. And then bringing out all the Republican representatives for their little bit of face time to look oh so shocked. Okay. Like you've never heard that as a black Republican, you have never heard this kind of crap. You've never been called an Uncle Tom. It's horseshit. Of course you have. You're not surprised by this in the least. It was just a chance to get FaceTime. This video was highly cynical. And look, I'm anti-regressive. I've been generally conservative all my life. I certainly, you know, from my personal standpoint, I have adopted children. They are mixed race. I'm very sensitive to this kind of stuff. But this is not the way to fight racism, in my opinion. This was bad reporting, or at least not up to the standards that you'd had in the previous four tapes. James, I'm disappointed in this tape. This is not some smoking gun. This is just to make somebody look bad. And that's not good enough. So you may disagree. Make up your own mind. Like, subscribe to this channel. I'd love to hear your comments. Tell me what you think. Do you think I'm way off base here, or do you think it's pure racism? Maybe you're seeing something I'm not. Anyway, thank you.